Photon Hypernova is right around the corner, and the consensus is that this is an amazing set. But a lot of people are disappointed in something, and that's the new TCG exclusive archetype, Gold Pride. Now, even though this isn't the best standalone archetype, I can honestly see a lot of potential in it, and that's why I wanted to make this combo video. So what I did with this deck is I mixed it with what was probably the most obvious archetype to mix it with, and that was P.U.N.K. It's going to be a 2-card combo with this deck that ends on an insane board that's pretty much unbreakable. If you get this combo off completely, you'll probably just win. And in all honesty, cards like Bestials will not hurt at all. So basically, you start with something like Emergency Teleport. This card can be substituted for some things. Obviously, if you normal summon a Xiamen, then you can add Foxy Tune off of its effect, and then special summon something out of the deck, which will be the next step. But out of simplicity, and just to keep it at 2 cards, we're just using the E-Tele. Okay, add Shirakuzi off of it. Well, add Ogre Dance, then add Shirakuzi. The reason that we do this is for a point that I'll show you in the future. The main thing is because it does kind of bait Bestials. If your opponent Bestials you here, because you're putting a Dark in graveyard, you can use your triple tactic cards, so Thrusting and Talents, to just go absolute plus. Just straight punish people. So most people probably won't use their Bestials here, but if you get that for free, you get it. Okay, activate Shirakuzi, go into Rising Carp. You don't have to see them in there, I'm just doing it. Now use your Carp effect and you summon both Deer Note and Wagon from deck. Now you get to do 2 things. You're going to use Wagon to search Extreme Session, your field spell, and then now this is where you're going to special summon your Captain Carry. Summon Carry because now you're at 6,200, which is more than likely lower than your opponent's life points. And then you use it to search your Starcher engine. Now you can Synchro Summon into Dragon Drive. The reason you're going this route first before you go Dragon Drive is because now you're going to start drawing off Extreme Session, and you want to pull start your engine from your deck so you don't draw it. Alright, so now you're going to activate your 2 effects, summon back Shirakuzi and search Madam Spider, paying 600 to get a draw. Now you're going to banish the Ogre Dance from graveyard if your opponent doesn't do it, or if you draw Bestial monster, leave the Ogre Dance and banish something like Wagon, something that's less important. It doesn't really matter truly, but if you don't draw a Bestial monster off the first one, just banish the Ogre Dance. Now Madam Spider is going to be able to search our Gabu. Now you can search Gabu or Nashawari Surprise. It depends on your pick for the format. I'm just using Gabu for this example to signify a negate, but Nashawari Surprise in this format probably will be better against everything except for Tier Limit. Alright, now you get to draw another card, and then you see there we drew into a Magnamute. Now, what we're gonna look at from this is that this is a deceptively strong board. A deceptively strong board. Now, I do want to go over a little bit in how good this is. First and foremost, on the surface level, it is a +6. We started with 2 cards. Now we have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we went from 2 to 8. Extremely strong. You have IP Masquerena, quick synchro for Shirakuzi into Amazing Dragon, which is a triple bounce. Start your engine, which is a pop-on summon, into our horse, or I guess Leon, into more disruptions. So just to show an example of how good this board actually is, I'm going to show you a duel. Okay, this is our deck against a Sprite deck. This looks like a pretty standard and very good Sprite hand. So we'll just go over some things that happen here. And just to show how good the combo actually can be, I'm not going to use any of the hand traps that we drew or any hand traps that we draw later off of Extreme Session. Only the cards we produce off the 2 cards. So this is going to be the same thing you just seen. Just look at the potential of what this deck can produce off of the cards you draw from your Extreme Session in combo. So now we're passing our turn to our opponent. We're only setting these two, which are the two that we searched in combo, no RNG involved. And then potentially 5 disruptions in hand, 2 Bestials, Ghost Ogre, Infinite Impermanence, Ash Blossom. This is what this deck can produce off of the punks plus an extension. And then now we'll see how it actually interacts with our opponent too, because the Gold Pride cards are very good and they add to this deck a lot. So, opponent starting with Nimble Beaver, which I think is very respectful. If you draw Druid's Worm and playing Sprite, you're probably not going to jump straight into your starter anyway, so you can use your Druid's Worm as an extender later. As soon as our opponent puts a second monster on board, we're just going to clear his field so he can't extend with those blues and reds. Going right into Amazing Dragon. Amazing Dragon gets to bounce up to 4 cards, but we're just going to bounce 2. Plus, since Shirkuzi paid life points, we get to draw another card, which Infinite Impermanence in this situation. It doesn't matter, whatever it was, we weren't going to use it anyway. So now, Sprite, it's going to extend through. We put that Angler in his hand so he can pitch it off of Swap Frog, but that's just okay. Alright, this is where we're going to start breaking down things. Flipping our trap, killing a beaver, Nashawari Surprise, killing another beaver, chaining IP Masquerena. So now we have Unicorn resolving, our Leon comes out, and it's going to be resolving to add, or special summon from Graveyard. Spin the Swap Frog off board. Now we get back our carry. If you want to, you can technically activate carry to add another copy of Starter Engines, but that's not even important at this point in this combo. This is pretty much a foregone conclusion. Okay, our opponent's going to go for starter. Another extender, 3-point extender right here. Chain the Leon. Now we're going to go into our Star Leon. Opponent summons their Jet. Chain our Star Leon to their Jet. Pop it too. So that's another disruption. Not using any of the cards we drew, we completely shut down that board. So this is kind of hard to deny how powerful these cards can be in the right deck. Now, it's just going to come down to if P.U.N.K is a good enough engine to vessel this until it gets more support, or if there's another deck out there that can pay your life points to trigger the activation costs. But I think this is a good enough explanation to show that this deck has an insane amount of potential, and I think right now can be competitive. So if you do like this video, then leave a like in the bottom, subscribe to see more, and if you want to see my deck profile for Gold Pride P.U.N.K, comment below. Thanks for watching.